Okay, I have studied my mistakes from the live stream. Let's try again approach and landing and see if I have learned anything. So we are at 140 knots airspeed at around 3000 feet, flaps 20, stabilized here. We have done most of our checklists, ready to approach the airport, except we need to change our mixture to auto reach, get rid of the carpet and keep our plane levels and go for the liquid based carb de-icing. Then we adjust for 2400 RPM. Try to keep our speed steady. And soon we will start descending again. We are now flying fully manual, no autopilot for this one, and let's see if we can locate our airport yet. Not quite. Let's then keep going. Before we enter the airport airspace, I also want to go down to 2150 feet, because that is 1000 feet above our pattern altitude and 1000 feet below the holding position, normal holding position. So let's descend a bit and try to get visual on our airports. There we have our airport, so let's just level up here. Make sure we keep the 140 knots for now. So we will fly past the airfield and then make our fly over and try to enter the traffic pattern. The runway is same runway 26 today, and it was what it was supposed to be also last time. So let's head for our BOR marker and then do our little loop around the airport. A little bit more throttle to keep 140 knots. For now we want to keep it at 2000 feet. Watching the needle here for our BOR station. There we have our airfield, and runway 26 would be this one there. When we are at the BOR station, then we will turn north to get ourselves aligned with our planned pattern. Then we will fly past the runway from the east, fly over the airfield, descend to 1,150 feet and make a 180 turn towards our final traffic pattern and try to intercept it within 45-degree angle. That is kind of what we're supposed to be heading for. 1 nautical mile for the VOR station, so we can start turning towards north, or a bit northeast actually. About 0, I reckon 020 would be nice for now. We still have visual for our airport, perfect. Bit of turbulence here. Little fighting with keeping her leveled. Trying to maintain that 140 knots. Here we are getting past the airfield. We can start our next left turn. And it should be about 1 minute 20, 1 minute 30 seconds past the runway. Then we are above the traffic pattern. Then we start descending again, 1 minute out, 1 minute in, and we should intercept the traffic pattern and turn right for the pattern. Then it's one from the start of the runway when we are parallel. It's 1 minute 30 seconds out. We do our base leg and 1 minute 30 to 40 seconds in, and we should be driving a bit better than last time. So far, things looking all right. We are losing engine number 1 again. No idea why. Okay, it was just a turn. Affected the fuel flow, fair enough. Slightly oh, it's still dropping. I do have the icers on, everything should be alright. Let me try then one thing. Let's go for fuel booster pumps high if that helps with fuel flow. To keep the fuel flowing. It is quite serious icing conditions at the moment, so we are having a bit of trouble with that. And our co-pilot just told that we are past the runway, so I start my timer. actually now already over the traffic pattern I can see from the VOR indication. So now we start descending to 1150 feet, and also getting rid of our speed. And engine number 1 is out. Then we go for 2600 RPM. We try to do this with 3 engines. We have flaps 40 already. So 1 engine is out. We still have 3 engines left. And we are at 120 knots. That's looking good. We are at our altitude. We can level off a bit. Keep the 120 knots. With the engines we still have fully running. So there was still icing icing in the car. I can see it from the engine 1 behavior, but let's try to do it with 3 engines then. Shouldn't be too impossible. I'll get my gear down also at this point. We are going for heading 0. Zero. And just fighting to keep the speed there. And we can get our traffic pattern. Not a perfect 45-degree angle, but close. And 075 is our next heading for the pattern, pretty much towards the VOR. We are at the start, parallel to the start of runway. We start our timer again. Let's start timer. 1 minute 30 seconds out. Keep our heading. Now I'm not even watching the VMEPs anymore. I'm more concerned about our speed to keep that where we want. We'll go for full flaps. And when the VOR is on our back left, we should be at our base leg start. 1 minute 6 seconds gone. And 1 minute 30 seconds. Reset again. So, oh, our engine number 1 is with us again. Looks like that. Good to know. I was all prepared for landing with 3 engines, but better this way, of course. And our runway is heading 255. We will keep the 2600 RPM now because the engines are a bit wonky at the moment, so we don't run into problems with that one. Let's see. 255. Do we have visual for the runway? Not quite. And we also start descending towards our final landing altitude. Three green lights, we have landing gear down confirmed. So it's not so nice weather for landing, I have to say. Really hard to get visual on the runway, but for this situation I do have my GPS map, so I can have some kind of reference what is going on. There is our runway, perfect. Just a bit low we are, but let's make it happen. There's also a bit of crosswind, which I have zero experience, but I think this is the way to get experience. Or one way to get experience. Practice, practice. Well, at least we landed this time. I'll just keep a bit more RPM than I would normally because I'm a bit worried about our engines cutting off. Okay, so let's taxi off the runway to give space to others, and let's check our after landing checklist. So, lessons learned. Visual approach, no, not perfect yet. Wasn't quite getting the traffic pattern, but on my defense, the really foggy weather didn't help me at all. Okay, let's then end as we are supposed to end. Do I have? No, we don't have anything ticked there, but it's fine. Cowl flaps goes to full open. Flaps up. Prop master control full forward. Cabin is depressurized. Yes. Propeller de-icer. Prop de-icer off. Carb de-icers off. Airfoil heater on. Position lights. Goes to steady. Landing lights off and retracted. Auto feather is off. Cooling turbine switch off. Transponder goes to stand by. Then we go for parking. ATC ground on. Request taxi
Goose
to
Bay
parking.
DC-6 request taxi to parking.
Well, that made me quite happy. I was a bit bummed after the
Taxiing to general
live
aviation
stream and the
parking via
crash
taxiway Bravo
over there
Papa Alpha
because I
Hotel
couldn't
DC-6.
quite figure out first what was going on. But today was a lot better. I am still a bit confused why I kept losing the engine number 1, but I guess I have to do further studies on the, was it the de-icing thing or what happened there. Now let's taxi to parking and shut off her as we should. Then next flight we can continue towards Greenland. That is not going to be a traffic pattern. That is going to be following a valley and then straight in approach because the airport, I don't remember the name, it was something very weird, but it is in a valley. So there's no way we are doing traffic pattern, at least on this particular airplane over there. Oh, I'm speeding a bit. Quite a bit. There we go. Then our last checklist. Shut off. Parking brake on. Gust lock. Engaged. Seatbelts and no smoking signs off. Fuel booster pumps off. I think the high fuel booster pumps, it probably help to keep the fuel flow. So I will need to Google about that more. Water alcohol injection pumps are off for sure. Yes. Here, yes. Prop deicer ammeter is off. Prop emergency de-icing controls off. Then we can kill the engines. Idle cut off, idle cut off, idle cut off, and idle cut off. Prop master, RPM, full back, fuel tank selectors off. Cowl flaps closed. Cowl flaps are closed. Beacon lights. Okay, it was off. Sorry for that. Position lights off. Ignition switches off. Well, where was I? Position, no, ignition switch, inverter switches off, off, off. Inverter switches, that was that. Generators off. All electric switches are off. Everything off here. And that's about it. We can turn our radios off. Oh, sorry, this one. That's off. And we can open our doors. Front cabin exits, cargo hold, main cabin exits, and get the stairs. So, there we go. Not a perfect parking by any means, but we did land successfully today. That makes me very, very happy. So, join the next live. It's gonna be any day. Press the subscribe button to get notifications when we go live again. So